So August has arrived and it's so hot in Vienna, guys. If you don't live here and listening from different country or city, gosh, today was 35 degree, the highest 35 degrees Celsius. I have to mention that. And oh my god, so humid because today it rained and now I opened my window because I am trying to let the fresh air in, but I don't think there's some fresh air going on, to be honest. It's just so humid, and by sitting I'm sweating already, so I have to take a shower later once I'm done recording myself. I want to apologize that I haven't been publishing so many episodes since May because my life got super busy and now I have some time to sit down and publish something. And I'm very, very happy to do so because I missed talking to you guys. I missed explaining my stories, and some of them are quite heartbreaking, also emotional, but some of them I hope you're having fun, laughing with me or laughing at me, whatever, however. So yeah, I decided to continue, and sometimes I just cannot find time, and I am again sorry for that. And with this, welcome to Strudel Talk. Okay, I see my cat approaching me and I hope she doesn't do so much in the background. Let's see if you hear something. That is my cat. No, she's coming. Okay, she decided to just lay down on my table and started to lick her paws. So she cleans herself before goes to bed or take a nap. So her eyes are now slowly zooming out. And she's in a very bad mood though. Before she goes to nap, she starts to bite me, scratch me. It's like a little baby. And anyway, so yeah, from May to August, it has been now 3 months from my last episode. Oh my goodness, I was counting now from May to August. I cannot even count, Jesus Christ. And so many things happened, guys. There's something good, also something bad, so maybe I can start with something good. So begin with this topic, I just wanted to remind you that there was an episode 9. The topic was about the breaking point of a friendship. So today's episode will be very likely to be connected to that episode, and as well as something brand new happened in my life. And it's also fine if you don't remember that episode. I will just give you a very short summary what happened on that episode. So it was right after I went together with my then friend Mina to a girls trip together with the ex-girlfriend or girlfriend now, I'm not sure, Alba. So the thing was that we had our up and downs, of course, as friend, like any kind of friendship. But the thing was that I got accused of so many things that I didn't even do. And it was so painful the way it got handled because the text messages, I wish I could read the text messages again, but I really don't want to because it was so heartbreaking, and at the same time I felt so pissed because like how can 8 years of friendship can end like that on WhatsApp? Guys, like I wish we sit down and talked and just figure out if I really did something so bad to her, and if I was really a malicious friend back then I would have loved to hear and probably try to explain myself. And if I really did something wrong, then I will own my shit. So I decided to do a last drop that I could do from my side to make the people to understand that, as well like my side of story, because it turned out to be just her side of story circling around her family, her friends, including this ex-girlfriend or girlfriend Alba and Alba's friends and this kind of thing. And I felt like unfair, like there was some unfairness, like why nobody wants to know my side. And I tried to contact then Mina and tell everything, like to be honest and I said what I said. So, and then I decided to, publish that episode because I just wanted everybody to know what really happened. At least that's from my side. So that was a short summary of that episode. And now I want to give you detailed information of how I met Mina and other people that got involved, because this is gonna be important for what I'm gonna talk about. So it was back then in 2017 actually. I started to see these two people in our dorm, and I was quite curious because I was thinking like, okay, they seem like together but not sure. And then in that summer we got to introduce each other. So it was then Mina and her girlfriend Rihanna. Because her real name is very close to whatever. I mean, I don't want to tell the real name, but most of you guys probably know. So let's say Rihanna. So Rihanna and Mina used to be together for over 7 years of relationship, but they have known each other longer than that. So we met like this as a couple, and through life and everything, they broke up. And as their friends, we decided to remain friends with both of them, because that's how we got to know them. And then we know stories about how relationship were bad, good, and this kind of from both sides, but we still, as their friends, decided to no taking side or something, because seems like, okay, both have their own reasons why they didn't want the relationship to continue. And time passes. Mina got into very nice relationship back then with Alba, so we were cheering for her, but I guess we were not enough for her, as friends to be like, be there for her or something. So that's actually very sad if we kind of gave that kind of impression on our friend Mina. So through the time, this new relationship was going on, but it's also hard for the probably new girlfriend to see that Mina is very, very close friends with Rihanna. I mean, to be honest, staying friends with your ex is a thing. You can do that. Obviously, you can remain very good friends and nothing fishy going on whenever the new partners come into their life. So that was happening, whenever they meet new people, they would show that it's just purely friendship, nothing is going on, and knowing them, they will not get back together, and they're just very, very, very close friends. Like, they know each other. I mean, come on, for 10 years, if you know someone, you know that person. So for my eyes, I thought, okay, you know what, whenever they bring new partners, I'm so sure they try to show them that, look, we are real close friends, we are not doing anything, so please don't feel insecure whenever we hang out. So this was going on. And then actually last year in 2025, around March I think, Rihanna decided to stop being friends with Mina, and there were so many conflicts or the communication problem or something like this, and I'm not gonna go into details about that because it's two people's problems. And from my point of view, or from my side, how I took it was very, very shocking to me, and sometimes I did not know have to react to certain things. And then I was also like thinking, oh my god, my group of friends is tearing apart because we were four of us, and it made me really, really sad, guys. Like, I used to always tell my older friends like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with my girls, it was always four of us. And then now I'm like, oh shit, that doesn't exist. And then a few months later, Mina decided to stop being friends with me. So I was like, okay, you know what? What can I say? What can I do? And you guys know that once, relationship is going into toxic direction, you start to maybe lose your friends. So for me, I was afraid that she's getting into this toxic relationship. That was one thing I kind of concerned, but then you do you, girl. It's okay. I'm gonna be fine. Even that was painful. And then, so this all friendship dissolving happened in last year, September, and few months later, she started to, talk to Rihanna. And I think Rihanna and Mina decided to, reconcile the friendship and everything, and it was going well. So I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine. People can come back to life again as long as they know what they did wrong and they're willing to repair, in my opinion. It's just my opinion, by the way. And then I was hearing all of this, reconciliation topic, how it is going on, and my friend was also telling me, Rihanna, like, seems like, she has changed, and let's give a chance, and this kind of thing. So I was like, yeah, sure, like, Mina, go ahead, not Mina, sorry, Rihanna. And then it was very close to Rihanna's birthday, which is in March, and Rihanna told me like, hey, Mina wants to talk to you, so how would you feel that if she joins my birthday party? And I was like, sure, why not? I mean, I wouldn't mind. First of all, it's your birthday, you decide who you want to invite, and I'll be fine. And second of all, yes, I think I can give a try and talk to her. The birthday has arrived, and then I stepped into my friend's apartment and I see Mina sitting there. And of course I was nervous, guys. And then immediately we saw each other and started to laugh like how we used to, and then just hugged it out. It was really, really nice to talk to her again, and we talked about so many things on that night. But then, it was birthday party, so we were getting drunk, and then we decided to, talk once more when we were both sober. And then I think maybe 2 weeks later that we met, or could be even a week later, we met in a bar, but we were of course sober. It was after our work. I was nervous, and I could see also Mina was nervous, and this is, emotional talk. I think in every kind of relationships, emotional talks are very, nervous taking. Is it the word even? So yeah, and we sat down and I told her, yes, it was indeed very painful how everything was done, and I wish things were different, but I would like to know your side and why she felt that I was, doing so many things that she thought I was doing. I just wanted to know her side. And then I also told her, look, if the dissolving the friendship was a good idea back then, I completely understand. That was what you needed back then. And I want to know also why. So she explained her side of story, and I realized like, okay, you know what, certain things, okay, now I see kind of makes sense why she acted like that. And then of course I was also trying to explain exactly what I said, what happened, and then she will understand more, right? Because then some of the things that happened apparently she didn't even see, and some people decided to, go to her and tell. So I was so freaking pissed on those people. It seemed like they wanted to break the friendship on purpose. I don't understand why. I really don't understand why. If the people didn't like me or didn't like our friendship or jealous of our friendship, then girls, come and talk to me. Like, come on, we are human beings. Don't be such a snakes. Don't be such, in the back and saying, oh, you know what? Your friend Mara did this to you. Was doing this to you, by the way, Mina. Hello? And meanwhile, I did not know that was happening, and I thought in my brain, genuinely, they were such a good people, nice people. Come on. I was just, thinking, where the fuck did I do wrong? And genuinely, I did not understand how everything made sense back then. And then now, since I talked with Mina, I got the whole picture. I was just thinking, oh my god, you know what, Mina? Okay, certain things what you say, I totally agree, because she was also saying that whenever she had a problem with the girlfriend back then, we were not so much, there for her. And I completely understand how she felt. She felt probably so alone, did not know what to do. And then I was apologizing for that. I was like, you know what, this is miserable as a friend, that not being there for the other friend when they're having a hard time. Of course, if this continues, building up in her, then it's gonna be also painful for her, and would totally understand, gathers up. If the situation is happening often, yes, then probably I will think like, why are you my close friend? I'd rather not to have you as my close friend if you cannot help me or be there for me when I'm having a hard time. Yeah, so it was very, very nice talking to her again, and I could completely see that she was genuinely very sad about how the friendship ended, and also very much apologetic apologizing. And this is the thing that, self-reflection is different when it comes to certain things. When you can really admit that you did something wrong in the friendship, that is what I value as well. I have to mention that Mina is the one who took the first steps to talk to me, and I'm very happy about that, because initiating a step can be also very difficult, right? I'll be so nervous, because what if the person rejects? Haha, that will be like, I don't know. I don't know, but And I am very happy about how it is going between three of us, because also the other day when we hang out, we openly talked about our friendship, and it was coming really deep from the heart. And then I realized, fuck, three of us kind of matured, probably through all of this experience and going through friendship, losing friend and building again, and then trusting each other again. This is a one way of also learning about ourselves. And I'm not gonna say like, you have to break the friendship to, know about this. Of course, some people can be more mature about this kind of area or can be less, but also looking at some other people's, experience and how it is going, you can also maybe learn about it. But of course, it depends on the person to person and how they want to deal about their problems when it comes to friendship, because any kind of connection can be problematic at some point, even relationship, any kind, right? With your parents, with your partners, girlfriend, boyfriend, or I don't know, with your colleagues, everything built on relationship. But if there's no communication, or let's say a very poor one, it's gonna be very hard to maintain that. So what I learned about this is that open communication with your friends, if the friends are really true friends, then they will understand. I think if the friends are not really true, and if they start to get offended, defensive, and being, I don't know, denying, and even though that's kind of true, and there's gonna be very problematic, I think. And this is the topic where I'm gonna jump to the next. So you have the good news that three of us are friends again, but the other side of the thing is that I lost actually some friends. Most of you know that I can be a very blunt person. My mouth sometimes doesn't shut when it has to be shut, or I don't know, just something that I want to mention it, then I mention it. But guys, I am learning to be quiet, shut my mouth, and don't say anything in that moment that hurts, I don't know, people and so on, because sometimes I just couldn't understand that I was hurting people. That was such a childish way of telling it, but guys, this is really true. And sometimes when I shut my mouth, I think my face says a lot. So I cannot hide anything, my just face says it, and people are like, so what are you thinking about? I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to tell, then if I tell, it's gonna be painful. So I have to learn also to make poker face. I'm explaining all of this because this is connected to what I'm gonna talk next. So I'm gonna give you a background story. So I met this guy, okay, let's call him Phil, in 2024 October or November, something like that. And we started a date, and then I was like, okay, he's cute, why not, let's see how it will go. And then certain topics we didn't really agree, and then I kind of didn't like it because it's something that I kind of value so much. So I was like, okay, you know what, let's stay as friends, maybe that's better for us, and then just see. And then he completely understood it, and he did say that, okay, you know what, that topic was kind of sensitive topic, and then he didn't really want to say something like that. So I was like, okay, seems like he is very receiving the words correctly, and I also don't want to push like this person like, oh, now you have to change your mind so that we can be friends or something. But then through the time, the friendship I think worked better than a dating, because for certain people you cannot just stay as, I don't know, couples, and rather to stay friends, let's say. And once a week we would go to movies and watch whatever movies we want to watch, because we both have non-stop card. So this is so cool. Aside information, if you love movies and going to cinemas, please get this card. It's worth to have, and it's called Non-Stop. And also these people or this organization, I think, supports independent cinemas. For instance, one of my favorite movie theaters called Burg Kino in Vienna, and this is one of the oldest operating cinema. And monthly I pay 24 euros. Wow, I fully made advertisement for them now. Okay, so going back to the topic, as I was mentioning that we would go to the movies like once a week or something, and later we downloaded such a cool app, or he downloaded such a cool app that, you know, you can visit some kind of restaurants and get like 2 meals for one or something like this. So once a week we would also go to have a dinner before the movies or something whenever we had the time and availability. Our friendship dynamic was like kind of purely based on movies and food. So it was actually very nice because we both love Asian food and also very tasty food. And it was so nice to explore different restaurants with him, and I don't know, it's nice, you know. But then the conversation wise, I think we didn't really match. Time to time, like, I don't know, our conversation was like so childish. For example, one of the times I like to wear baggy clothes, and he was like, oh, look at you, you always wear baggy clothes, what kind of fashion is that? And then I look at him because he used to wear like the skinny jeans, you know, that guys likes to wear. I'm like, but look at you, you have, you know, chicken legs, but then wear skinny jeans. And then he goes on like, but I cannot gain weight because it's just who I am. I eat a lot, but I still cannot gain weight. And I run a lot. I was like, yeah, but don't wear skinny jeans. And then he goes on, it's not skinny jeans, it's just the regular jeans. I was like, yeah, but this is so tight, you know, look at this. So then, you know, the conversation was, I don't know, either kind of bullying each other or being mean to each other. But then for me, that kind of dynamic is quite actually established between my friend or friends. And I thought, you know, we're having a similar dynamic, but I think it was actually different than I expected. The last straw of our friendship, I think on that day we were both very, very stressed. And also I was quite stressed as well because of my new job back then. And I was trying to, you know, figure out things and how to, you know, manage my time correctly and learning new things and getting used to being in a new environment and then colleagues. So for me, you know, maybe I should have also shut my mouth. That's what I'm telling you guys. Sometimes, like, if I'm kind of tired or if I'm sick, oh my goodness, I don't have filter anymore. I don't know how, or any of you have it, just let me know if you also feel like that. And on that day, oh my goodness, that was in November last year. So we were having pizza before our movie, and this was a place apparently very nice and established and well known that they have good pizza. We ordered and I got pistachio cream mortadella pizza. Oh my god, I just love to tell you side information. This was so good. And then, okay, I was on my phone because a friend of mine was asking work-related question, but I was like, okay, I have to answer this because she needs this information and maybe she's at work, I don't know. So I wanted to, you know, be there and answer as quick as I can. But then he was like complaining, who are you texting with? And I was like, bro, like, this is my friend. I have to really answer now because she's asking something about work. And then somehow our conversation directed into me being racist. And I was like, okay. And then he goes on, yeah, this, that's what you said. I was like, no, this is not. I think this is unfortunately used in my country like this. And then he was like, no, you're being racist. And I was like, boy, like, I'm not racist. So I was explaining to him, dude, like, you got completely wrong. It's not what I'm saying. And then he was like, no, that's it. And then I don't know why. Actually, I got quite pissed because I was getting, you know, this weird assumption, even though I was trying to tell from my side and it was not going anywhere. So I became quite, like, you know, wordless. So I shut my mouth. Really, I didn't want to say anything. And then he goes on and telling me some stuff. And then I just could not handle things anymore. And then I looked at him and said, I think you are being very misogynist. You are being sexist at the moment because you were also saying something about women being this and that, and as your friend I was trying to understand also your point. Maybe you had a point but there was no point, and now I cannot just listen about your, this annoying talking about how women should be. So yeah, like I exploded, and then I was so pissed. He was pissed. We went to movies. I don't freaking remember what kind of movie I watched because I was that boiled. And the thing is, I realized with myself, when I'm super pissed or angry, I just lose my surroundings, really. I don't know if you guys also have that, or is it just me? I don't know. Let me know as well. So anyway, I was not concentrated on the movies. I just wanted to go home. I wanted to leave, but then I thought, okay, maybe this is not a good idea to just leave. And of course we didn't talk until the end of the movie, nor even after the movie, and we just separated. And then a few days later, he texts me and say that he agreed to the same thing, that our conversations was never, on the point, never got connected. And that's what I'm telling you, like we had this weird dynamics of telling each other, but then maybe our idea of looking things were so different that our conversations was just not moving on. And it was not a part of, this me being bully or him being bully was not the case. I think it was just in general how we, perceive information plus how we see things are just completely different. So he also mentioned that in the text message, and he just said, yeah, let's stop being friends. So for me, I also agreed to that point. I said, yes, I totally agree to that, and let's stop being friends. And that's it. It was kind of course, sad to, lose your movie buddy and plus restaurant explorer. But at the end of the day, I was thinking, is it really worth to have such a friend in my life? Because I do have other lovely friends that I should be actually giving so much time, and attention. And I just, cannot, be there for everybody every day. Also, I need myself for myself. And then I thought, okay, you know what? If things don't serve, then it should be removed in a way. In any kind of relationships, if you don't like your colleagues and work, then you should try to maybe change it and make it better for yourself. Or if you think that this relationship, the romantic one, is not going anywhere, maybe you can try to talk about with your partner what's going on. And if it's really not going anywhere, then you should be able to also stop it, because at the end of the day, it's our time and energy and everything, and we are not gonna be always so young. And before it gets too late, it's better to just cut it off. Or you can try to stay in that kind of relationship and see where it goes, and maybe have hope. And if it changes, good for you. But if it doesn't, then again you're gonna be on level 0, like starting again. And same way with friendship. Some people may, take each other granted because they think, okay, this person will always be in my life, but then it is not actually. I just thought about this topic recently so much because something very similar happened to me again, and that really crushed me down. I don't know, guys, like I went into really like this black hole in my heart that I haven't been there for a long time. And then I was just thinking, what the actual fuck? And for that topic, I think I should do another episode, because it really crushed my heart so much in so many levels. So that will really take me a long time to explain so many things, because oh boy, like if I talk about it now, I don't think it's a good moment, because I'm still fresh with so many things in my head, and I should make a process of it, and then probably everything will be better, and then I will share about this to you. Okay, before I finish this episode, I wanted to tell you why I decided to stop dating Phil. In that year 2024, I was following Rammstein's case because several women approached and shared information that they got sexually assaulted by the lead singer. The first woman who started this or openly shared the information, her profile and everything was so public, and the Rammstein fans really started to bully her and saying something like, oh, wherever you are, whenever you are, I'm gonna kill you, or this kind of thing. It was so horrible. So unfortunately, his case got closed in a way that he kind of won the case because the rest of the women was so afraid to show their identity, so they didn't attend the court. Since there were no victims showed up, the case automatically apparently closes. And then I was telling this information to him because he was saying that he really likes listening to metal rock, and I was like, oh, by the way, this happened, and he was like, oh, but you know, those women wanted to go to the backstage willingly. And I was looking at him like, okay, yes, it can happen that maybe they got invited and they went to the backstage to hang out with, you know, band members and whatever. But that doesn't mean, you know, this woman wanted to have sex with the lead singer. So it should not be justified because they were invited to the backstage. So basically he was telling me that, yeah, they wanted that. So now they're saying they got raped, woohoo, something like this. And I was just thinking, what the actual fuck? I'm not gonna go out with this kind of person, you know, as my, I don't know, partner in the future. And if you think about women like this way, this is really, really sad. And I was trying to lecture him. And then, of course, that's the reason also I wanted to finish our friendship, because sometime later he was start talking about how a woman cannot be a leader. So basically he was, you know, talking so much shit about women and kind of looking down on them. So I cannot, or I couldn't accept this kind of behavior from my friend. So yeah, this is also one of the reasons behind as well wanting to stop the friendship from my side. But the thing is, I thought maybe if I start to tell and inform the person and explain the situation, maybe people change, you know, they would start thinking, oh yeah, actually you're right, this side of thing. But that never changed. So yeah, this was a really, really side information. So thank you for listening to my episode. It's been a while and I hope you liked this episode and got some entertainment. With this, I wanna give my weekly suggestion for the song. I have a very good song. I love this band so much. The name is Zimmer 90 and the song name is Summer Nights. They just released this song. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna share it on my Instagram stories, so please follow me there too and subscribe me on YouTube, Apple Podcast and Spotify. And with this, until then, bye.